But first, reactions are trailing some pretty decisive comments from FCT Minister Nyesom Wike that any political candidate should forget about Rivers State because according to him, that state is for one person and one person only. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let's watch.
What was going to happen in this 2027 election? And I've seen it, and I've said it in Rivers. I made you come out to say election had been rigged. Let these people not vote. I am telling you, let nobody make a mistake. If anybody is counting Rivers, go now and cancel it. The only person that can count Rivers is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I'm not talking because I'm talking as a political realist. I'm talking because my people know. You see, the point is what you should ask. But once you build confidence in people, but once people trust you, people know that anything you tell them is likely to happen. And you don't go to government without carrying people along. Nobody can say to you as a minister of FCT, even as a minister of FCT, that Rivers people don't feel the impact. No, certainly not.
Rivers. Now, these comments are coming just yesterday in Abuja during the minister's media chat, and they've sent social media into a frenzy because the minister was unambiguous in his statements that Rivers is signed, sealed, and delivered for Tinubu, and that anyone even thinking about the state is wasting their time. Now, this is coming on the heels of the current governor, Sim Fubara, now back in Wike's camp, but as the leaders in power plot over electoral outcomes, the big question is, what do the people have to say about all of this? And we'll get into what the people are saying. But first, let me say good morning to my people, the morning show people, Rufai, Ayo, and Dr. Abati. Good morning. Great to be with all of you this morning. Yes, and a lot of stories today. So we'll take the first reaction on X from Fest, who says, these are statements that motivate voter apathy. The audacity. As always, nothing wrong with democracy, but a lot wrong with politicians who have no regard for rules of engagement and people who aren't holding them accountable. Then Ayo Joy Boy says, Wike is openly telling Rivers people their votes only matter if they go to Tinubu. This is how confident they are in the system. Democracy is an intensive care at this point. And that last point of that tweet really stood out to me. I mean, is democracy in Nigeria essentially in the ICU?
No, we don't want to promote that. It's not in the ICU. We keep hope alive. I'll ask anyone. That's what I'm saying. I'm keeping hope alive. I don't need a second argue, but I want to maintain because, like you said, or one of the ex-users had said, what we don't want is to promote or induce voter apathy. At the end of the day, every time, or for anyone who chooses not to go to the polls to exercise their franchise, you give an opportunity for it to be easy to rig the process. And that's why I encourage everybody, whether during the Osun elections, which is the closest to us in August, and then the bigger elections come January of 2027, go out there and vote. Now, to Minister Wike's point, I'd like to ask everyone to refer to Dr. Abati's statement earlier today. I thought he gave quite very sound advice to the FCT Minister himself, and also just an analysis of the state of play currently. But let me say something. What he was doing is what we call mind games. It's political big speak. It is psychological warfare. It's almost akin to what boxers do before a boxing match, where you come out and say, I will finish him, I'll kill him, you're this, you're that. And then it is an attempt to weaken the psychological nature of the person who is the opponent in the ring. What you must not do is to take that in as fact or allow it to then determine your reaction or your actions or reactions based on what he has said. Minister Wike can make claims that he wants to make. He can say all manner of things. But at the end of the day, he has one vote for one man. It is the Rivers people, the people of Rivers State, who ought to and who should and who will determine who emerges as winner in that presidential election. Not, yes, you can have political influence, can have your political structure, but every human being was born with a brain, and everybody has that one thing that they have a right to, freedom of choice. The right to exercise that is your prerogative. So if you decide to give it to somebody else, then that's on you. And that's why I believe that a lot more sensitization, voter education, awareness, sensitize, from primary school or right from our educational system should educate the citizens on the power that they hold and the will. So irrespective of what comes out of political actors in this, state of we own everything, you would be able to counter that, but we actually know you can still mobilize depending on who you want to vote for at all. Then the other part of it is that all these things I'm saying around one man, one vote, your vote matters, has to be backed by action by INEC themselves. INEC has to demonstrate to the people that they are ready to ensure a free, fair, and credible election where every single vote matters and where they leave little or no room to opportunities for rigging or taking or hijacking the process by political actors. This is what Nigerians are asking for. If that is in place, then anybody can come. I can come on TV today and say that nobody owns Lagos State. It is the family of the Thompsons that own Lagos. That's me saying that. So but also, then the final point on this is responsibility of political actors as well. Like the last ex-user said, unfortunately, we are not yet in the place or position as a people where our sense or level of political activity or knowledge is heightened. And so a statement like that can mislead people or implicate you. That is there something that you know that we don't know? Is there anything that you're doing that we are not aware of that it goes against what should be a proper political process? So he has to take responsibility for his speeches because of the influence that he wields.
Right. Rufai, you counter?
Ayo, yes. I want to counter all the things you have said. And with due respect, I understand your point of view. We need to give them confidence. And Dr. Batito, I want to counter what you said earlier. But with due respect, Wike is right. Rivers, go and write it down, will go to President Tinubu in the next election. Mark today down. Wike is not saying what he has not done. He's saying what he has done. You know me, I'm from the school of thought of brutalism. We're laughing, we're I even like brutalist buildings. Go back to 2023 election. The BBC wrote a report of the mystery of the altered result in a disputed poll. And they did a deep dive into an investigation into the Rivers State results. Based on what the BBC counted, Obi was supposed to get about 200,000 votes. President Tinubu, a little more than half of that. The results declared in the state capital, President Tinubu ahead of that. This is me reading from the BBC here that we have found an increase of over 160,000 votes in Mr. Tinubu's official declaration when compared to our polling units. Apart from the BBC, the what is it called? 2023 election, Tribune picked it up. I will be defeated Tinubu in Rivers State and all of that. There's been many stories as regards this. And when a man says that, you say he's just bluffing. Secondly, this was the same man that went ahead to say that across all the levels, even Fubara that vied for position at Rivers, he bought tickets for all of them. That one is not proof enough for you. Third proof, when Fubara made a maladjustment, they went ahead, declared state of emergency, told him to go on holidays. Where were the Rivers people then?
So we should not do anything.
They couldn't say anything. No, I'm not saying don't do anything. No.
Yeah.
I'm saying what is a fair company. See, we keep saying we don't want voter apathy. But when we say that, Ayo, we say it as if we think Nigerian people are dumb. There's already voter apathy because they know that what we are doing is a charade already. So with due respect, he's not saying what he cannot do. He's saying what he will do. And we can take a bet on this. I'm not a betting man. If President Tinubu does not read Rivers 2027 election, let's take a bet on it.
No, we are doing journalism. We are not a group of gamblers.
No, we are doing the right thing, Doctor. We are telling them the truth. That's journalism.
As journalists, we don't gamble.
We can take a bet on it if you want.
We just analyze the issues as they are. And I like to say that the first question to ask is who is Nyesom Wike in Rivers State politics? to the best of my knowledge, he's just like any other person who is qualified to vote. And as has been pointed out, he has just one vote. He's not in a position to predict or to announce ahead of the fact what the outcome of that election will be. He cannot sit in August 2026 to say that President Tinubu is going to take all the votes in Rivers State, and those who are already calling the election in Rivers State for any other candidate, that they should go and cancel that because it will not happen. He doesn't have that authority. So he's just embarked on a trip of delusion.
Yeah.
And his delusion should be called out for what it is. The only body that is recognized under the laws of Nigeria to declare election result when it takes place is INEC,
right?
Not any other body. And the point about voter apathy, I don't think that this should translate into voter apathy. The people of Rivers State, the voting population of Rivers State, has no obligation to answer to Nyesom Wike. They have the right as citizens.
Absolutely.
And they have the right to insist on their rights as citizens and to go out on election day and make their own informed choice.
Absolutely.
That's what the electoral process is all about. And the electoral body must give them the opportunity to go out and vote.
Absolutely.
And have their say. And any other person, whether it's Wike or his agents or anybody that seeks to violate that process, should be called to question. And that is why INEC itself has been asking for a National Electoral Offenders Commission. So that people who have the kind of delusion, the kind of megalomania, the kind of arrogance that Wike has demonstrated can be called to order.
Absolutely.
Because this democracy, the duty that we have as citizens is to be vigilant and to defend it.
Absolutely.
Anybody who says anything to the contrary should be called to question.
To question, to order, all very valid points. You know, one person, one vote, and that's what everyone really wants to see.